Yo guys, welcome to RenderRam. My name is Vieko and today I'm gonna be covering 5 super obvious 3ds Max features that you either knew your whole life or you discovered them just now after 4,000 years of using 3ds Max. So let's dive deeper into the known, unknown depths of 3ds Max. Our first feature is going to be Spline Optimize button. So whenever you create any spline and you want to modify the tangents of this spline, so these little thingies, right, these brackets, have you ever noticed that annoying thing that when you move them slightly up and down, they're just not gonna move, and then after some point they start to move? Well, there is a button where you can turn that damn thing off. So if you go to your spline settings here and just scroll all the way to the bottom where it says interpolation, there's an optimize button. So when you turn this one off, and now when you move your tangents, you can notice that your spline moves instantly with every move you make. Our next feature is going to be trim and extend in splines. So get this, when you have a spline, so this is one spline object and you want to remove all the internal lines here, just go to your spline mode here and scroll down where it says trim and extend. With the trim, you can easily remove all the internal elements and that way you can clean up your spline shape. But these points that you just cleaned, they're disconnected, so make sure to select all those vertices that you trimmed and just click on the weld button, and now they're gonna be one solid shape. But now if we have a scenario where you have, for example, like an internal spline, let me just attach this one, like these two together, okay, and now if you go to your spline mode again, scroll down where it says trim and extend, if you click on the extend button, any spline that you click, it will be extended to the first border. So if I click on this one, it's going to be extended to here. This one is going to be extended to there. Our next feature is going to be a super easy way how you can determine if your object has any triangles or n-gons or whatever gons you need. Now I'm going to purposely create a couple of n-gons. So let's say this and this, and just going to delete them. Keep in mind that on the top of the lid, we also have a lot of triangles. And now you go to your selection tab of your ribbon. Here on the left, you have a button that says non-quads. So when you click that, it will select all the polygons that are not quads. Additionally, if you're not worried about those triangles, but you're only interested on the n-gons, here on the far right, you can actually choose what do you want to select. So now, when you click on the little mouse button here, it will select only the 4-sided polygons. But if you want to select something that's larger than a 4-sided polygon, you just click on this button and then click the mouse icon, and it will only select those polygons that are larger than 4 points. Of course, if you want to select only the triangles or whatever is less than 4 points, you just click this button here, like less than, and then you just click the little mouse button and it's only gonna select the triangles. When it's on the equal sign, you're exactly selecting a specified polygon, like I want only triangles or only polygons with 5 vertices or 6 vertices, etc. Our next feature is gonna be override with UV checker. So whenever you have a scene, for example, like this, did you know that you can click on the standard button, go to the materials, and here you have override with UV checker. You click on that and it's gonna show you the UV data of all your objects. Now, if you're really not a fan of how this checker texture looks like, you can always go to your Autodesk folder, so 3ds Max, Maps, UVW Unwrap, and here you're gonna have that texture that's being displayed in the viewport. Now, the texture that I generally use whenever I do unwraps is, for example, this one here. So what you can do now, just go to your default Max checker texture, copy the name, just make sure it has to be a PNG. You can now delete it and just rename this new texture with the same name. When you click OK and go back to your Max, you're gonna see that your texture, like checker texture, is instantly gonna be updated. And of course, if you want to get out of the whole UV checker mode, just go to standard, materials, and click on override off. And our last feature is spinner snap toggle. Now, I'm talking about this button here, this one. Now look what this does. I have this box here, length, width, and height are all 10 centimeters. And now if I want to increase that, I'm just gonna get, you know, the normal increase values here. But whenever I, for example, click on the little spinner here, you can see that all these weird numbers are starting to appear. Look, 10.7213. I have 5 decimals, by the way. Why? Because I like it. Now, you see all these kind of random numbers start appearing. So now if I go to my spinner snap toggle and click on it, you can notice that when I click on the spinner, it says 10 centimeters now. It's going to be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Additionally, you can change like the values that are being used here. And now when you right click on your spinner snap toggle, these are the spinner settings here. And this is the value that I'm using for my spinners. So this is 10 millimeters. If I set that snap to 1, and if I go and move this number, it's going to be 14.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, etc. But there's one also cool button here. You see that wrap cursor near spinner? So get this, whenever you are just, increasing the number of something, you see like how my mouse just goes up and it just goes off the screen and it just endlessly goes and it's all over the place, and whatever you need to increase, your mouse can end up in freaking hell. So when you click on the wrap cursor near spinner, that mouse just goes up and up and up. Look at this. I'm just gonna move it up. You see where it goes? It's constantly there. It's just moving on like a shorter spin distance, if that makes sense. But you see what it does? It doesn't go off the screen or anything, so you're not gonna lose your mouse anymore. And before we close the video, make sure to check dry plans for architectural visualization, Arc Models 294 from Evermotion, because this pack of all these plans is now 25% off. So you can get all these and be pretty much covered with all your, dry plant needs. And as usual, check out Evermotion website for any news or articles or tutorials or whatever. These guys update the webpage regularly. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.